Hello and happy Sunday morning. I'm just out here in our garden looking at our blueberries and mint and thinking I should slap something together with what's left over from the week of cooking. Our blueberries aren't quite ready, so I'll have to use some of the ones from the store. But our mint's looking pretty good. I'll grab some of this mint, head inside, and see what else we can slap together for a Sunday morning breakfast. So if you don't have an herb garden outside your window, you should plant one. You can put one in a pot, you can put one in a little planter. We are super lucky to have this whole row of herbs and plants out back here in our backyard. Everything from mint like this, which is going to go into our breakfast, to the blueberry bushes, which will be great in a few months. We'll video that when it comes around. Our fridge is a bit of a mess, but let's see what kind of leftovers we can make breakfast with. We've got some milk, lemon, and maple syrup. We've got some berries. We've got some eggs. I'm thinking this feels like a setup for French toast. Let's see what kind of bread we have left. There we go, leftover bread. Perfect for our Sunday morning French toast. So we've got all our ingredients for our French toast, and there's nothing really French about it. Maybe it's French style. I think French toast is a very American invention because I haven't seen it in too many other places across the world. But nonetheless, we're gonna go ahead and get started with our recipe. And the first thing to go into the bowl is my favorite milk, followed by some leftover eggs for the week. And if anybody has any local ones, we would certainly love to have nice fresh ones in our meals. Send them on over. Next in is a little bit of butter, about a tablespoon. And we're gonna put in some cinnamon, a couple dashes of that, and vanilla into the mix. So next up, we're gonna cut our bread and get it dipped into that mixture. So I'm cutting the bread this morning with this beautiful knife that we got from Deborah's aunt when we were living in England. And she actually got it from her parents, which would be Deborah's grandparents. So this knife is quite old and still used today. We absolutely love it. This bread is leftover from last night, so it's already scored. I'm basically just cutting it half to make it into French toast halves. Okay, so as promised, first into the bowl goes about 2 cups of milk. Again, I'm not big on measuring out ingredients. I've just been making stuff so long that I kind of have an idea of what I like to put in, but you can adjust yours to whatever works. Next in, 3 eggs left over from the week of cooking. 1 and 3 eggs. Luckily no shells in there that time, pretty good. Next in, about a tablespoon of cinnamon. Again, you can clearly see I'm spilling all over the place so it's about a tablespoon of cinnamon, whatever works for you. And about a tablespoon of vanilla goes into there as well. Quick wash of the hands in the background to get the egg off. And next up we have our whisker, just a regular old whisking tool. Grab my bowl. And that looks about right. I like to keep going until it's nice and frothy, the eggs all mixed in and all the ingredients are nice and mixed together. And then it just starts to smell great as well. Cooking for me is such just a feeling of when things are right. And that's the way I cooked with my grandmother when I was a little kid, and it's still the way I cook today. I do measure out a bit to get a bit of a guide to what I know I want in there for ingredients. But for the most part, I just go with what I feel. And I feel that this is a little bit thin, so I'm gonna throw 1 more egg in there to make it just a bit more gooey. Yeah, that's about perfect for me. I like it when you whisk it and then you pull the whisk out and it's just a little bit gooey drippy off of the whisk. For me, that's perfect. Now we're gonna go ahead and dip in our bread. For the bread dip, just go ahead and take your halves right into your mixture, push them all the way down, give them a bit of a spongy push, flip them over. You should hear the air pushing out and then sucking the mixture back into the bread. Give it a good shake and then put it right on your griddle or in a pan or whatever cooking surface you're using to cook them. I got this at medium heat with a little bit of butter put on it already. Okay, well our bread's cooking in the center griddle. I got a little blueberries and strawberries over here in just a pan with some butter and just literally a pinch of sugar. And stir those up. Those are gonna go on top of the French toast once it's done. One of the issues with cooking on a griddle is the heat isn't quite distributed evenly all the way across it. So these ones in the back tend to cook a bit faster. I should have flipped them a bit sooner, but they still look delicious. I've cut a little pocket into the front of the French toast here, and what I'm gonna do is just slide a little piece of cream cheese right down in there. I'm not gonna do it on all of them, but I'll do it on these front 3 and make them a bit more creamy. A little bit of butter. Next on comes our berries. A little bit of juice from the berry pan. A little bit of maple syrup. And then just a pinch of powdered sugar. And there is Sunday morning French toast from leftovers. Well, mostly leftovers. Okay, I've plated one of them for you. Now I need to plate the rest of them for us, specifically mine, so I can eat breakfast. Oh, and I almost forgot to squeeze in the lemon.
I'll do that before we finish.
Just enough juice to give it a little bit of acidity, make people wonder what that taste is.